Hey everyone, Crystal Feb here. So I wanted to explain something about ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a landing page funnel building software that I'm actually a certified partner with ClickFunnels. And a question that I get and a common misunderstanding that I've seen quite often is how the URLs work in ClickFunnels. So I wanted to give you a quick overview to explain it. So here's a simple opt-in funnel that I have, and I want to show you how the URLs work. So I actually have just a little diagram here that I put up. So every funnel in ClickFunnels has a main funnel URL, and I'm going to show you where to find that. That URL redirects by default to the first page in the funnel, no matter what it is. So if you change it and you're using this URL, it'll always point to the first page in the funnel. So very important and highly recommended that you always use your main funnel URL as your links when you're doing advertising or promotions, etc. Because if your pages happen to change and your URL changes, then people may click on some links that you've published and never get to your page, which you don't want to happen. So good practice to always set your main funnel URL and try not to ever change it, unless you're doing something special where it's just going to be dedicated for one use only. So in your first page of the funnel, there's another, or any pages in a funnel, there are multiple URLs, and a lot of people don't realize this. There's what I call the top level main funnel step URL, and then there's the split test URLs. Now, if you're not running split tests, there's always the control page A is always there. If you're running the split test, there's a split test page, the test page. So what you have to realize is that the funnel step URL is different, must be different than the control page URL and the split page URL. And what happens is if someone visits this step, the system sends them to this page or this page, depending on if you're doing a split test, it's recommended you use 50%. So half the traffic goes here, half the traffic goes there. The system keeps track of your stats for each page. So if you're doing a true split test, you want that to be at 50%. Let's say you don't have a split test running, 100% of traffic might be going here. But the important thing to remember and realize is that the URL here is different than here. So if you're just sending traffic right to this page and you try to run a split test, it's not going to work correctly. It might not work correctly. So let me show you in ClickFunnels exactly where you can find this stuff. So this is my Digital Tech Explained simple opt-in funnel that I have. So if you go over here to settings, this is where you'd find your main funnel path. And it's set right here, path. And on this one, I'm just calling it home. So if I always send traffic to my domain name /home, it will always send traffic to the first page of the funnel, which is this page here. Now this is what I'm calling the funnel step URL. You can set that by clicking this gear. You can always change it. Now, sometimes you might change this to a certain name, but if you have multiple funnels using the same domain name and you're trying to set your path to a page to a name that's already been used, ClickFunnels will add a bunch of random gibberish to the end. So if you ever see that, that's because you have another page that's got the same name already. So this is where you could set that top URL, the funnel step URL. We go back to overview here. You see these. So this is a split test setup, right? So I have it going 50-50. And what you'll notice, so this URL is /ask. And then over here, I have ask a digital marketing tech question with dashes. You don't have to use dashes, by the way. You could do non-dashes. this has to be letters or numbers or dashes or underscores. Anyway, I put a -a at the end, and you'll notice this one is the same thing, but it says -b. You can name your paths whatever you want as long as they're unique. So that's what happens if you hit digitaltechexplained.com/home. The system will send the traffic here, which is this URL. And since I'm running the split test, it's going to send someone to either this page or this page. Anyway, I just wanted to explain that because it's a common misunderstanding. I've seen a lot of people not understand this. I've even seen videos on YouTube that were saying the wrong thing. So this is how the URLs work. And then by default, if you have a, let's say this page here has a form that's submitted. By default, it'll go to the next page. But you could actually change that. Let me edit the page and I'll show you. If you don't want a visitor to go to the next step in the funnel for some reason, 90-something% of the time, you just want to go to the next step. But if for some reason you don't, you can go here to settings, general, on submit, go to. So by default, it's yoursite.com/next page, which is hard coded in there to basically mean it goes to the next funnel step. But you could actually put a URL here. So let's say if someone hits up a certain page in your funnel and you want to send them to another page, you could set that right here. All right, well, that's what I have for today's video about URLs in ClickFunnels. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about digital marketing, technology, about ClickFunnels, websites, domain names, DNS settings, you name it, please go to digitaltechexplained.com, submit your question, and I would be happy to answer it for you in a future video. All right, thank you very much.